It is. Okay.
Steve.
Buscemi.
You beautiful man, you.
You know, your eyes are kind of like my dog's eyes.
They really are. Wow. Like a pug's eyes.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Welcome to not the Steve Buscemi fan club podcast, but to On the Haunt.
I'm Whitney.
And I'm Amy.
But there should be a Steve Buscemi fan club podcast.
For sure.
Let's start that.
Because we got so much time.
We do. Oh my gosh.
Hey everyone, we're back on a Saturday night again.
Wow, it's 7 p.m.
If you liked us exhausted last week.
Get ready.
Actually, I took a nap today, so I don't know. I might be able to,
I'm feeling good.
Hang, which is good because we were planning on recording 2 episodes.
So let's
tonight.
Let's do this thing. I did have something I wanted to tell you, and I didn't. We rode here together, but I didn't want to tell her obviously until we got here. Have you heard about the Sasquatch sighting in Washington State?
Yes, I saw the pictures.
Did you?
Yes,
okay,
I
good.
Did.
Well, I just wanted to comment on it.
I meant to share that on social media the other day.
We can post that on our social media because it's so. What do you think? Do you think it looks like Sasquatch?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely something walking.
Yes.
Because some people are like, no, that's just a gap in the trees. And
it's definitely not a gap in the trees.
And when I look at, I'm assuming those are full grown trees.
Yeah.
So a human being is not going to, take up that much space.
Yeah.
On it. What are those even called? Like evergreens or whatever kind of tree.
I mean, it could be a guy.
I mean.
Was that the person maybe
it could be,
home?
but if it is, he's wearing
all black, head to toe.
Hanes sweatsuit.
Yes, even on his face.
Like,
it's really interesting.
Granimals, or what? Do they still make those where you wear a lion shirt with a lion tag pants and you'll match?
Cute.
But I'm going to go with Sasquatch.
It's fascinating. And I love that Washington State's Department of Transportation posted it on their Twitter.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you for being open-minded.
There are
Washington State.
All right. Well, I got nothing else to talk about other than that I cried last night watching Miss Americana on Netflix like a total loser.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Beautiful.
Yes. We watched it today.
We should now start probably a Taylor Swift fan
Probably.
podcast. Taylor Swift and Steve Buscemi.
Much time. We can barely get these done. Hence, we're recording on a Saturday night.
Yes.
I do it's easier on the weekends, though.
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah.
Because our work schedules are so different.
Yes.
It's hard to do it during the week. So,
okay.
No one cares. No one cares about our schedules. Sorry, everybody.
Moving on. You want to just go?
Okay.
You're going first, right?
Sure. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
If you're ready.
I'm going to borrow your light.
Borrow the light. Borrow away.
I am.
Are you doing your good one?
I think it's good. I hope it's good. Or goodest.
I can't wait.
They're
Is this
both
a new
good.
notebook? It's so new and fresh.
Yeah, I left my other notebook.
It's fresh.
In my bedroom, and I didn't know that's where it was, so I thought I lost it. And so I was like, I've just got to start anew. I always buy these composition notebooks at Target after school starts.
Nice.
Because I get them for 20 cents a piece.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And it's you feel really cool.
I do. I love
composition.
And the paper's good quality. It doesn't tear off loose. Again, no one cares. Okay. So my topic is haunted objects. Part 2, because we've done haunted objects before.
But here's more. There's a lot of them.
I got this book called Spookiest Objects by Terrence Zepp. I can't read my own writing.
Zepke.
Terrence something.
Zeppeli.
Yeah, Zepke. Let's go with it. So I didn't get a ton of information on this book, but each chapter is an object, so at least gave me some inspiration for things to research.
I like that.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, I did use some information from his book too. His book isn't worthless. The chapers are incredibly short, maybe 2 pages.
Yeah.
So I had
He's got a lot of
I had to go
objects in
out
there.
into,
Wikipedia.
the
Also
internet
random.
universe.
Yeah.
So I also went to seeksghost.com.
Oh.
Realunexplainedmysteries.com. Ghosts and Ghouls. I'm not even going to say .com. That's so lame. That's like when people say www in front of something. Just stop it.
World Wide Web.
Jamie still types that in. So I'm like, no, you don't have to do the W. Just stop.
HTTP.
Yeah.
Colon.
No, he doesn't do it
//
not quite that bad, but...
Oh, that's so cute, Jamie.
No, he's such
James
a grandpa.
Christopher.
Ghosts and Ghouls.
He's such a grandpa.
He is a grandpa. No, he's not. He better not be, because that would make me a grandma. Kids, we got some talking to do.
He is, yeah. What's that called if you're just... Okay.
You have to remind me when we're off the air, tell you about Brecken. Okay. He's like starting to be a normal teenager now in some aspects. So it's not like necessarily in a terrible way, but in a who are you kind of way. Unimaginable nightmares. That's a source, not my children.
Not your life.
Cabos and amino apps. I don't know. I don't even know if I use all those again. I always just write stuff at the top of my page and go from there. So my first haunted object I'm going to talk to you about is Myrtle's mirror.
Who is Myrtle?
Myrtle's not a person.
Myrtle. What's that? Something Myrtle from...
Myrtle the turtle?
Harry Potter.
Oh, Moaning Myrtle.
Moaning. I kept wanting to say Weeping Myrtle, but I'm like, nope.
Moaning Myrtle.
I loved her.
Yeah,
also, she was annoying as hell.
Yeah, but I mean, that was the point.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. What is Myrtle's mirror?
What is it?
Okay.
Tell me.
It's located on Myrtle's Plantation, which is in St. Francisville, Louisiana.
What a lovely place.
I don't know, maybe close to Britney Spears' hometown. I'm not sure. And it's operated as a B&B. Is she from like Shreveport or someplace? No.
I don't think of it. It's embarrassing. I know it, but I
don't know. Okay, go ahead. I'm so
We're so
You just get a little bit of everything in this podcast. You are welcome.
You're welcome, person who gave us 1 star.
Yeah. Oh my God. Time out.
Oh my God.
The new Britney Spears
in the zone
yes!
place. Oh my God, I know. They just posted someone that went. Oh, Busy
Phillips was there. Yes.
It's like Busy Phillips.
I want to go.
I would die.
Those are some Instagram worthy photo ops.
Yes,
there.
like you're walking down that jet and toxic.
For sure. We need to scrap some money together. No, scrape some money together, not
and
scrap. Maybe we scrap on the weekends and people pay to watch
We scrap all of our metal.
Yes.
That we have.
At the boneyard.
What are we talking about?
Oh, okay,
God,
so
help us.
Myrtle's Plantation.
Yes.
Built home. Oh. I don't know. It was a home built on
as a B&B?
Well, it's operated now as a B&B, but it was built as a home on 600 acres. See, I just have to decipher my notes.
I get it.
Way back in 1796 by a lawyer named David Bradford. Where I read it was kind of interesting. He played a role in the Great Whiskey Rebellion and kind of had to go on the run for a little while.
Oh, that's a thing, not a movie.
No, that's a thing. That was something that happened.
The Great Whiskey Rebellion.
He took part in that somehow and had to quit being a lawyer for a while and go on the lam.
Wow.
But then President John Adams acquitted him for his role.
He's like,
pardoned him, not acquitted. He's not a judge. Pardoned him from that. And so then he was able to settle down with his wife and 5 children.
Lovely.
So I'm like, when were you? Why don't take part in things when you have to leave your wife with 5 children
5 is
in the
too
1700s?
Many. 5 is way too many
for sure.
Well, they weren't even done probably.
Probably
1700s.
Not.
They had 10 more.
They actually called the plantation Laurel Grove. All of his children but one, Sarah, died of yellow fever while they were living there.
That's so sad.
So she was it. She was the last, the only surviving child that they had. So she was kind of a big deal for him, obviously.
Yeah.
He began mentoring law students. And one of his students, Clark Woodruff, kind of had the hots for Sarah.
Oh, nice.
So
Maybe.
They got married in 1817.
Okay.
Okay. Getting it now. My stories are running together. I'm thinking of something else for my next story or my next haunted object. I don't know. Oh my God. I'm off to a great start.
You're doing wonderful.
So Clark and Sarah
the
get married.
Romance.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Their wedding was it was beautiful.
Spot on Laurel Grove, I'm sure, with just all sorts of great bluegrass music. I don't know,
whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey, because the rebellion was over. I think it was over at that point.
No yellow fever.
So anyways, when Bradford died, he left the house to his wife, but she wasn't really able to take care of it because it was such a big estate.
Plantation, yeah.
So, because they produced cotton and indigo crops.
Oh.
Which, it's kind of fun.
Don't know what that is.
I don't either. Is that like what you dye blue jeans with back in the days?
What is indigo a plant?
I guess.
Oh God! Why are we
Unless I'm just throwing more misinformation out there. So, anyways, Clark and Sarah basically took care of the property.
It's a plant in the pea family.
Oh, well, I think it's a color.
Well, yeah, and it was formerly widely cultivated as a source of dark blue dye. Okay, I've never known that was a plant.
Sarah's like, "Hey, Clark. Your butt looks real good in those blue jeans that I dyed for you with our indigo crops."
With our peas. They're peas. Blue peas?
Ew, this is like something for Willy Wonka.
I know, it's so weird.
Okay, so Clark and Sarah had 3 children. And the 3 children were looked after, typical for back in those days, by a young slave named Chloe. Well, allegedly, when Sarah was confined on bed rest during her 3rd pregnancy, Creepy Clark, I've now given him the name Creepy Clark, started having an affair, I'm putting that in quotes, because it was with Chloe, and she's a slave, and she has no choice. If he says, hey, we're doing this, it's like, okay, I have no choice but to do this. So after Sarah had the baby, Chloe was really worried that Clark would, be all paranoid that Sarah was going to find out about this going on, and that Chloe was worried he was going to send her to work in the fields, which is just like
not what you want to do.
A horrific job. I mean, do any research on working in the cotton fields back in the day, and it was people just poor slaves would just drop dead right there.
Yeah, anything but that job.
Yeah. So she started listening in on his conversations to see if she got any clues about whether or not he was going to send her back to the fields. Okay. And he caught her listening in on his conversation. So as a punishment, he cut off one of her ears.
Wow.
And he did that, 1 as a punishment, and 2 to show the rest of the slaves, look.
Yeah. Set an example.
This is what happens when you don't obey your master or try to get any kind of information on them.
So gross.
So from that point on, she always wore a green turban to cover it up. So
what
obviously,
is left when you cut off your ear? You know what I mean? Is there just a random hole?
And who knows how much was he able to?
God,
I can't imagine it was like flush with her head. I'm sure there was probably something still there.
Poor thing.
But so enough that obviously she was mortified by it and wore this green turban for the rest of her life to cover it up. So obviously she was very angry and wanted to exact her revenge.
Yes.
So it was one of the kids' birthdays. I never did find out which one of the kids it was because they had 3 children, remember. So she made a cake for the child's birthday and she put ground oleander into the birthday cake because she knew the whole family was going to eat it. Really, she wanted to get Creepy Clark, but she knew there was really no way of just getting to him.
Yeah.
And so she just poisoned the cake knowing everyone would partake in that. It's still unclear. No one really knew for sure in any of the stuff I read if she actually intended to kill the family or if she did it to make everyone sick.
Will oleander kill you straight away or will it just make you sick, I wonder?
I think it probably depends on
how much.
And probably individuals' reactions. I mean, I would imagine children would probably die easier from something than adults.
Yeah.
So she served the cake, and Sarah and 2 of their children died after eating the cake.
Not Clark.
And Creepy Clark didn't even eat any of the cake. And the baby was too young to eat any cake, so the baby survived.
Without its mother now.
Without its mother. Okay. And stuck with Creepy Clark for a father.
Oh, my God.
So Chloe told another slave what she'd done, and all of the slaves then were afraid that they would be punished as a whole she murdered the family, you know?
Right,
so, it was a big deal, but back in those days, again, unfortunately, you had no rights if you're a slave, and so they were worried Creepy Clark wasn't just going to take it out on Chloe, but take it out on all of them.
Right.
So, several of the slaves drugged Chloe off and hung her.
Oh.
Because, in their minds, it was either that or several of us are probably going to die.
Oh, my God.
So, after all that went down, Creepy Clark sold the plantation to Ruffin Sterling. What a name.
Ruffin, huh?
Yeah. Or is that Puffin? Or Duffin? Duffin? I can't read my own writing. I think it's Ruffin. I don't know. Rough and Tough Sterling. Sounds like a wrestler from the 1980s.
Ruffin. Well, hopefully it's not Puffin. That's a really terrible name.
Yeah. All of them are terrible options. But I think it's Ruffin.
Yeah.
I was just writing very quickly. So we sold it to him in 1834, and he changed the name to the Myrtles.
Oh.
Which, okay. So 4 years later, Ruffin died of the TB. It always comes back to the TB or consumption.
Super bad.
Yes, way bad.
Please don't.
You don't want that.
You really don't.
No, this coronavirus might be the next TB. I don't know.
Scary.
It's ridiculous. Stop buying all of the masks, you mask hoarders. Other people need the masks. Like, for real. I saw that news. Like, people were buying all the masks off the shelves. And I remember
in the United States?
Everywhere. But yes, the United States as well. And I remember when my dad was still alive and he was battling terminal cancer, he needed those masks to be able to step outside of his home. And there are a gazillion people in this world that literally need those masks to survive. And you can buy one box of masks. It's fine. Quit stockpiling them.
Right.
That's
There's like 100 in there.
Yeah, you're good. So when Ruffin died, his wife gave the property to her daughter. This is another Sarah. And then her son-in-law, William. And in 1821, this is a little bit of history on kind of what went down with Sarah and William. It is said that a stranger on a horse was outside of their house yelling for William. And so William's like, what? Who's on a horse yelling my name? So William stepped out on the front porch and was shot and killed. And no one ever knew who that... Maybe it was Ichabod Crane. I don't know. Or the Headless Horseman. No one knows who killed William, and the murder remained unsolved forever. Still unsolved.
Nice.
And Sarah and her mother both died in the home later of I don't know what, but I said old-time diseases, I guess, probably.
More TB. We'll just say TB.
More TB. It just keeps coming. Allegedly, there were 10 murders total on the property over the course of its existence. There are reports of soldiers being killed on the property during the Civil War, as well as murder related to a gambling debt stabbing.
Great.
So now I'm going to talk... Yeah, I know.
Gambling debt stabbing.
Yeah, that sounds so...
That's about right.
Yeah. Small town.
It does.
Missouri.
Right.
Going down in the Kroger parking lot.
Meth.
Yes. Oh, did you see that actor from The Mighty Ducks?
No.
That got arrested for meth this week?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. He was the chunky kid. What was his name? Like Goldberg or something on that thing. And he just... if you want to see why meth is real bad, just look at this poor guy. And it's so sad.
It is.
Like, that's what my husband was like, why would anyone want to? I said, no one wants to do that.
Right.
Who in their right mind
would
want to put something in their body that's going to do that to you?
Right.
And make you look that way. I said, it's an addiction. It's a disease.
Yes.
Recognize.
You better recognize James Christopher.
Right.
You ain't even listening.
No.
Jerk.
So for years, people have claimed to see Chloe's ghost. I wrote ghost. I'm pretty sure she's just one. Wandering around the property, and they know it's her because she's still wearing that green turban.
Oh, my God. Even after death.
Even after all this time.
Only has one ear.
Apparently, her ear did not regenerate on the other side. It's not like a worm?
Worm thing?
Yeah, you cut it and it grows back. For those of you who don't know what regenerate means, I'm so insulting. Her ghost has been seen in a mirror that has been in the home for over 200 years. Ugh. So that would be Myrtle's mirror, and that's why it's called that.
It should be called Chloe's mirror.
It also reported
Is it still
that
in that house?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you why they think it's haunted here in a minute. Sarah and her 2 children have also been seen in the mirror.
Oh, so that's why it's not Chloe's mirror. Ew, everyone? They're all like in the mirror.
Well, those are the people that are reported to have been seen. Chloe, Sarah, and the 2 children.
It's creepy, like you died there.
And you got to remember, back in those days, it was very common. After someone died, you covered all the mirrors in the house so that the spirits didn't get trapped in them. Well, it said...
Who forgot to cover the mirror?
Well, it was Creepy Clark, because this mirror is in the dining room, and since that's where his family died, he just, like, sealed the dining room off. Like, and just left it
so they're
as
just stuck in there.
So, yeah, so that could be why those spirits are stuck in that mirror. I don't know why I'm, like, banging the table.
I do that when I'm in that chair, too.
People have seen handprints and drip marks that are impossible to remove on the mirror.
Ew.
In 1992, there were some pictures being taken for an insurance company, and one showed a slave girl between 2 buildings. So there was like building, and like what was clearly like old-fashioned garb.
Yeah.
I love how I'm saying clearly. I never saw the picture.
Very clearly.
It was between 2 buildings, and the picture was authenticated. There are, of course, reports that it's built on an Indian burial ground because there's a Native American woman ghost. Like, you can't blame everything for, like... how many Indian burial grounds are there for real? It's like...
I mean, you gotta think of how long they lived here,
I know, but that's always the go-to. Like, I just feel like it's saying, like, Native Americans are, like, malicious spirits.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, that's
like,
fair.
just stop blaming it all on
And you gotta
Indian
think, like, a Native American burial ground would just be like a graveyard.
Right.
There are people buried all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
There are dead people.
Look at the catacombs you talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't, like, we don't know.
No, which is why I had a serious heart-to-heart with my
how
daughter
old
today.
The earth is?
Yeah, I'm like, just so
Real
you know,
old.
Keaton, I want to be cremated.
Yes.
She's like, I don't like talking about this. I'm like, I don't care. I want my wishes known.
Yes.
I said, if your dad tries putting me in a casket and having a bunch of people come gawk at me
For $10,000.
I will haunt him forever. Yeah. Don't even get me started on the ripoff that is the funeral industry.
Yeah, I'll come haunt Jamie with you.
Thank you.
You can count on me.
I know I can.
That's what friends are for.
In this life
the
and
other
the next.
side.
I love how we've lost actual, like, real loved ones. And we're just planning our reunion over there. Okay,
right.
Great.
To torment Jamie. Well, that makes sense.
My dad and your mom are, like, ripping down our welcome home signs as we speak. Well, screw them, man.
They get us.
They do.
They can appreciate. They both enjoy us making fun of Jamie relentlessly.
100%.
And tormenting him because he's scared of ghosts.
Yes.
I mean, I am too.
Oh, me too. Don't come at me, bro.
Don't get us wrong.
Not prepared.
We're very scared.
Yes. Which is why we act like this.
Right.
It's our coping mechanism.
Right.
All right, back to Myrtle's Beach or wherever I am. No, it's not Myrtle's Plantation.
On Myrtle's Beach. Maybe.
Yeah,
we don't know.
It's in Louisiana.
Is that where Myrtle's Beach is?
No, Myrtle Beach is...
I don't know.
I don't either. I feel like South Carolina,
yeah.
maybe.
Sure.
Allegedly, there's a blood stain in the doorway where a soldier had been killed during the Civil War that will not clean up.
Ew.
Which reminds me of this, when I was a kid, there was this house across the street from where our old school had been that gotten torn down. But there was a sidewalk there that I remember, and I don't know, anybody out there from Nebo, hit me up if you remember this, a cross would appear on the sidewalk. And people would go out, they like dug it up and repoured concrete, and this cross came back. So eventually they just dug up the sidewalk and never replaced it.
But it's a cross.
So I kind of remember that.
666.
I feel like it was a cross. I could be wrong. But I feel like there was something creepy about it. Like it was
What
upside
did it look
down
like?
Or something.
Well, it would be upside down from somewhere.
I don't remember. I was so young. But
What it looked like though.
I don't remember. I just told you I was so young.
Sorry. That's fascinating though. It's like Jesus in your toast.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
but
crying.
It was just the part though that where they dug it up and then cemented.
Yeah, that's unexplained.
Poured some concrete and that was back. And maybe some
Creepy
Yahoo just got up in the whole night and went and painted it.
Again, meth is bad.
It is bad. There was a young girl who died in 1868 after being threatened by a voodoo practitioner.
Oh.
And she is now said her spirit to appear in guest bedrooms. Remember, it's being Rosa B&B now. And like performing voodoo spells on them.
Oh my God.
Like, well, your Yelp review is going to be
I'm just
terrible
trying to
for
sleep.
me.
Right.
The ghost is putting voodoo juju on me.
See, that's why we don't leave our homes.
No, for sure. There's a ghost that staggers up the steps, but always stops on the 17th step. And remember William, who went on his porch and got shot? There are reports that he didn't die instantly. He like made it back into the house and was crawling up the steps and died on the 17th.
So that's him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that was my story of Myrtle's mirror. And so now, okay, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, keep going.
Move on to my next haunted object, Anna Baker's wedding dress. So this was the one I was getting mixed up. I was getting her mixed up with Sarah from the other story. So now I've got
a lot of Sarahs.
Got my ducks in a row. So the Baker Mansion was built in the mid-1800s, located in Altoona, Pennsylvania. I don't know how close that is to Taylor Swift's Christmas tree farm, but look at us. We're a wealth of knowledge.
She considered Nashville her hometown,
I heard her say that.
Yeah, and I was like, I wonder how old... And she was like young.
Yeah, I think she was doing more of that though for
that purpose
to stand up for political reasons.
Yeah.
So in 1949, Elias Baker was a very wealthy businessman. So he built a Greek revival style mansion.
I know what that looks like. I don't understand those things.
That sounds fancy. Even though Elias had been brought up very poor, the wealth he acquired during adulthood kind of made him arrogant. So he's kind of a jerk and thought he was better than everybody else. It's like, no, you came from nothing. You know what it's like to work and build, this and amass this wealth on your own.
Kanye West.
Yeah, for sure. Don't be taking Taylor's award.
This is the theme of this episode.
Yeah, that was her moon, man. Darn it. She earned that.
Yeah, it's VMA.
And it's like, you're so sad for her, but she's standing there with an astronaut and its little flag waving.
It is so painful to watch that.
It is.
Oh my God. Sad. Yeah.
Everyone's like, why are you taking us back to 2009 or whatever? Like, because that's the trip you're on with us people. That's why.
Get on the boat or get off.
So anywho, Elias, we're just going to jump
back to Elias.
This caused him to feel that his family should be associated with only elite families, particularly when it came to finding a suitable husband for his daughter, Anna.
Okay.
Anna spent her whole life dreaming of her wedding day. As I guess, I don't know. Some girls maybe do. Yeah, I didn't.
Me neither.
I was like, nope. I don't even know what that means.
Right. No.
I never saw a marriage work during my childhood, so
me neither.
Why would I dream of a beautiful wedding?
Right.
Anna did, however.
So I could divorce them and then look at us still married.
I started writing my prenup when I learned my phonics rules.
When I learned how to use a 3-point finger grip on a pencil.
It was probably...
Is that your foot?
Yeah. It was probably one of those pencils that you have to put the lead in the top for the lead to come out fine up at the bottom.
Rory just got one of those.
I feel like they still exist.
Yes,
That's
in
so
a goodie.
cool.
No, I took it from her because it's very sharp. Like you're going to hurt someone or yourself.
For sure.
Yeah. Those were great. Sometimes they smelled.
Yeah. Scented. Yeah. Everything was scented back
Everything
in the day.
was scented.
Scratch and sniff stickers were like
the best.
The bomb. There was a kid at my school that had a massive sticker collection. I was so jealous. He'd bring his sticker albums to school, and I'm like, "Can I sniff your stickers?
Give me those." I'm gonna smell. I love stickers still. Like I really find pleasure in stickers.
They are fun. I like putting them on my planner. Okay, so anyways.
We're losers. Okay, great. Like we didn't already know that. I love planners. Okay, anyway.
They're good. Good fun. So Anna kept dreaming of her beautiful wedding and actually began to accumulate items for her wedding long before there was a fiancé in her life. But her favorite item was the exquisite wedding gown that her mom got for her.
That's weird.
It is kind of weird.
Right?
Like, how do you know what size you're going to be?
Well, maybe.
Well, I mean, that's like got world's worst diet. Starting at the age of 10, you must now stay this size because we have this. Grow.
That's weird, though, to buy your wedding. I mean, isn't that weird?
I mean, I think so. But
what year is this, though? 1800s?
Yeah, the 1800s.
So, I mean, maybe not so much then.
She would often get the dress out and fantasize about her wedding, sometimes even trying it on.
Girl need a hobby. You want to start like crocheting?
Yeah. Take up the fiddle. I
feel
like people fiddle. I feel like people fiddled a lot back then.
Not like high class people. They're like playing the piano or
harp. Truth.
You know?
Be the Kirsten Dunst character from Interview with the Vampire, Anna. I can't think of what her name was on there.
Can't even tell you.
Okay, so finally she met Mr. Right.
Okay, great.
Unfortunately for Anna, though, he was only a steel worker. So she had to keep her romance with him a secret for a while she was working up the courage to tell her dad, Elias, because remember, he thinks he's better than everybody else, and his daughter has to marry within their class.
That sucks.
So when they finally worked up the courage to tell Elias about their love and their desire to marry, he forbid it and sent the guy away. And Anna clearly was so distraught because she genuinely was in love with this guy. She dreamed her whole life of having this wedding, and she thought that it was going to be to him.
Right.
So she vowed to never marry and ended up just telling her mom, like, here, give this dress away. I'm done. I'm never getting married. Here's this dress.
Doesn't fit it. It's
give it
for
away.
A 10-year-old.
And so as if her luck wasn't bad enough, a girl she didn't like ended up with the dress.
Oh, nice.
Like, great. And wore it on her own wedding day.
She bought it off, like, a Facebook Market.
Yes, probably. Whatever the version of that would be. Just someone screaming in the street. Dress! Some things I read said that Anna died shortly after of a broken heart, but then some other things I read said she lived to be an old spinster. But either way,
it wasn't great.
She never married and died longing for this guy. I don't know what his name is. So fast forward.
That's so sad.
To I don't know when. But the Baker...
to 2020.
Sure. The Baker Mansion becomes a museum, and the dress is put on display in Anna's old room.
Oh.
Several visitors have reported seeing the dress move. Others say it shakes the case so hard that it nearly shatters.
And it's fabric.
Yeah. But
so,
something
that's creepy.
Yeah. For sure.
Doesn't add up.
It's like it's something trying to get... She's like, oh!
Give me my freaking
I'm
dress!
still not the size 00 in the afterlife. That's why it's shaking. She's just like doing
so mad.
The version of laying on the bed trying to zip your pants.
Or it's like... Okay, I was going to say a really bad, like a shake weight joke, but okay.
God. Whatever. She's like, just give me some Spanx and this entire alleged haunting will end. It's been reported that Elias and Anna have been seen wandering around the house. There's a woman in black who's been seen on the third floor. Typical. Everybody's got a woman in black.
Right.
Anna had a brother named David who had died in a steamboat accident.
Oh.
And this I found kind of disturbing, but I guess it makes sense if you think about it. So back in those days, they didn't have a bunch of equipment and stuff to dig graves for, and he was killed in the winter, so the ground was frozen, so they stored his body in their basement until spring came around and the ground would be soft enough to bury him.
Creepy.
So a lot of people have heard screams come from that room in the basement and have seen a man dressed in a steamboat uniform.
Ew.
Like, if I saw someone in a steamboat uniform, though, would I know that was a steamboat uniform?
No. What does that even mean?
I don't even know. I imagine,
just
like...
a steamboat across it?
I imagine, like, the little guy had the Cracker Jacks box. I don't know. Was he like a sailor or something?
Oh my God. Hold on, I'm Googling that right now.
So the Historical Society in this town had their own investigation, and on camera they caught the dress moving on its own with no reason why.
Oh my God.
There's a music box that'll play on its own, and a plethora of just other typical haunting stuff like cold spots, footsteps, strange smells, moving furniture, etc., etc.
This is
so
hilarious.
That was my story. The end.
Yeah, he is a sailor for sure.
Yeah, he's a steamboat captain.
It never occurred to me that he was like a sailor or a captain.
Oh, it did me, girl. I used to eat Cracker Jacks like nobody's business. Those little prizes were the best.
Caramel corn is good.
Tells you a lot about my childhood. Ooh, a tattoo that you have to lick your hand and then get it to not even really stick.
For 5
your
years.
idea of a good time. Okay, fun.
Good times.
Ooh, you type stuff?
I did. You know what? I realized that when I do a better job if I type than if I write.
Well, good for you.
So
for finding your flow.
It's my niche. Okay. I'm doing shadow people.
Oh, hey. Hey, ho.
So, this is a lot of copy paste. I'm not even trying to lie to you. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what shadow people are. The answer is I don't know. Because who does?
No one, yeah. You can't see anything clearly enough to know what's happening.
And then I just have a crap ton of encounters.
Okay,
so I think that's fun, right? So I've got, my sources are obviously Wikipedia. And then Bustle, The Lineup, and liveabout.com. I don't know what that is, but
I use it a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just Googled shadow people encounters.
No, I cite that quite a bit. I might even cite that in my... No, that
fits
science.
Really well with this.
Oh, Boo, you just saw my next
You opened it up!
So bad about
It's really okay. Do you want to see my next one so it's fair? Do you know what that is? Okay.
I mean, I say that, and then once you start
you will. Okay. So shadow people, what are they? They're people that look like shadows. I don't know.
Maybe not even people. Who knows?
Who the heck knows? So dark masses.
Puppet shadows.
Shadow puppets.
Why can't I
A puppet would have a shadow.
String together.
A puppet would have a shadow.
It would.
So they're dark masses that sometimes may blink in and out, which I've never heard that, but interesting, and have somewhat of a humanoid form that are usually seen out of your peripheral vision.
Great. My peripheral vision doesn't exist. So
really?
I can't.
Well, that's probably good. Because then you won't see them as many.
I also, my depth perception's way off, or that's what I tell myself. That's why I fall down all the time.
My depth perception's clearly wrong.
And I have clown feet.
Sometimes described as a black mass, which I wrote like black mass, man. You hear that so much in paranormal lore. Yeah. Black mass all the time. Very often, sometimes they're wearing hats. Which I never thought about that. Like, I always just thought of it as just being a shape, not having any sort of human features.
I don't know. I kind of consider like a hood.
Yeah.
Again, I go back to the thing on Ghost.
Yes.
That drags the guys, like the bad
shadow
guys
people.
up. Yes.
Well, and you'll hear there's so many different things here that it's really interesting. So, here's some information I got. So the term shadow people was actually coined by author Heidi Hollis, who has penned several books on paranormal phenomena. And she says, shadow people have been around since the beginning of time. I don't know how the heck she knows that. She hasn't, but okay. And are a dark influence upon society. She did an interview with the radio show Coast to Coast AM. Have you ever listened to that?
I have not.
Me neither. And I don't know if we even can or if it's even a thing anymore. But like, it has a ton of paranormal stuff. So I'm going to look into it. It appears that these beings have, in fact, been around throughout history as depictions of shadowy human-like figures have appeared in folklore dating back to ancient times. For example, the Quran mentions pitch-black sapient beings that aren't entirely spiritual or physical, and people in ancient Europe reportedly believed that shadow beings desired blood and without it couldn't be reborn. I don't know what any of that means, but apparently it's been around, right?
Yeah. So it's documented.
Got it.
Then it's true.
Yes. So also, Heidi Hollis may be a little cuckoo, maybe. I don't know. Because here's a little bit more about that, what she says about shadow people from her book titled The Secret War.
Oh. Well, it's not really secret if you're writing about it, Heidi.
She describes shadow people as dark silhouettes with human shapes and profiles that flicker in and out of peripheral vision. But it appears that people have begun to see shadow people in more detail in recent times, perhaps because the beings are, for whatever horrifying reasons, making themselves seen. So she's got some ideas about our society and how we're at a place now where shadow people we're seeing them more clearly than they used to.
Maybe because people are more open-minded.
Maybe so.
Or maybe it's just because there are more drugs in the world. I don't know.
And there's more people in the world.
The shadow people.
Well, I get into a little bit of meth talk later.
Okay. I mean, that's always time for meth talk.
Yeah, meth talk's coming up. So now I'm going to get into some experiences. So my mom, when she was alive, talked all the time about shadow people. She saw them a lot. And so my mom worked outside, which she would see them during the day, which is creepy. And I don't know any specific experiences, but very often she would be at work and just out of the corners of her eyes, she would see like movement, and it was shadow people, what she thought were shadow people. So creepy.
Very creepy.
All right. So I got some of these are from Reddit. So Reddit user, We Coyote 30, that says coyote, not cowboy, says, ever since I was a teenager, I'm 45 now, I've seen who I call the Dark Man. I saw him first at my childhood home. Then he followed me to college, graduate school, and to my new home.
Oh, what a smart... You think of all that free education that shadow guy got.
He's like, wow, I know a lot about biology.
Yeah.
I've never interacted with him, only ever seen him around. I don't get a sinister feeling when I see him. In fact, I get no feeling at all. It's more like, oh, the Dark Man's hiding in the bushes. Or the Dark Man's out back again. Okay.
But I know my feelings would be different than yours, Coyote Pass.
Coyote.
Never mind. That's the land, the property of the sister wives bought to build their new homes on.
Your knowledge never ceases to amaze me.
I'm knowledgeable on all things.
You are.
That are just unimportant.
No, that's important. Reddit user Blood Curdling Reaper. Where do people come up with this crap? I don't know. Says, when I was about 8, I used to sleep in the same room as my other 4 siblings. Our house has a glass sliding door that has a light right outside of it and golden curtains.
Okay, fancy.
I literally haven't even...
Why y'all sharing a room if you can afford golden curtains?
I've never even read all of these, so I don't even know what these are about to say. I mean, I skimmed them very quickly.
So you weren't kidding when you said you copied and pasted.
Yeah, no, I copied and pasted.
Don't mind me, I'm just digging in my bag. I thought I had some Kleenex. But apparently those are gone too, right along with my...
There you go, I just stole some
new glasses. I'm having to wear my old glasses right now.
What is happening to you?
I hope they're on my desk at work and not
laying
in the Walmart parking lot.
They are. I believe you. I believe they are.
Okay.
Our glass has a sliding door, like most houses in the world, that has a light right outside of it and golden curtains, so if there's someone outside, you could see them or their shape. My older brother almost never slept, so he was constantly awake playing games or watching things. So this one night I was sleeping. Then I heard something, like someone whispering to me in my sleep. I think that while I was sleeping, I'll get up. I think that while I'm sleeping, I'll get up and go see who's talking. Who can think while they're sleeping? I don't know. I get up and go into the living room, walking around so I find them. This person is terrible grammar. They're also using you, the letter, instead of Y-O-U, the word. Then I go to the sliding door at the back of the house to find 4 dark and super terrifying looking figures, giving off the scariest feeling I've ever felt. Then I hear my name being said by all 4 different people. Those voices sounded familiar. I said, who's he talking to? I feel shaking and pulling. Then I wake up standing in our living room in front of the door with my mom and all my siblings pulling me and shaking me to get me to wake up. To this day, I still remember the figures in detail, and they haven't asked me about it at all. So maybe sleep paralysis.
Could be. Who hasn't asked him about it all? His family?
I guess. Or the figures. Okay. Nobody believed him.
Okay. But we believe you.
We believe you, blood-curdling reaper.
I maybe cold-blooded creeper, but whatever.
Same thing.
We believe you.
Okay, so this is from Courtney.
Okay.
All right.
Guarantee it's not the Courtney we know.
Nope, not at all.
She would have already...
She'd
been in jail for shooting at the shadow figures or what they've done.
I might not read all these. I have a lot. Okay. I was only about 10 or 11 when I went to this house. It was daytime, and the building was well lit. I looked into a few... I don't know what this house is or why she's there. I looked into a few rooms and saw nothing out of the ordinary until I turned into a hallway. It was at the other end of the hall, looking at me. Although it had no eyes, the feeling was undeniable. The shadow person and I watched each other for some time. I didn't think it was real, but then it started walking toward me slowly. I turned and ran. I looked over my shoulder, and it had traveled about 7 meters in the split second I had looked away. But when I had my eyes on it, it moved slowly. So when she's looking at it, it moves slowly. When she turns away, it moves quickly. I would
never have the nerve to look at it.
No, I know.
If I seen it out of like the corner of my eye, I'd be like, oh, God, I'm just going to keep staring straight
But then it's
ahead.
like right here.
Because it's then I definitely wouldn't. Can you imagine something being inches away from your face and you would turn to face it? No,
absolutely not. No, I was literally working on this last night, and it was dark, and I was home alone, and I was creeped out. Like reading these was creeping. The couple I read was really creeping me out. Okay. I got out of the house and looked at it again. It had stopped at the door, almost like it was unable to leave the house. It turned and then walked back into the house.
Ew.
Blech.
Yeah, not okay.
This one has kids, which I really don't like either. Okay. So Diane says, I have 2 sons who talk often about what they call the shadow man. The latest experience was when I had buckled both of them in the car and had forgotten something in my house. I went back in to get them. I heard my 5-year-old screaming, period. I went running back out. My son was in shock, screaming, Did you see it? Did you see it? I said, see what? Then my 6-year-old said calmly, the shadow man. They both said he was standing right there on the deck. My 6-year-old says that the black and the white shadow follows my 5-year-old. They say they talk to them all the time.
Ew, no.
No.
Not okay.
Nope. Diane, you should move or something.
For sure, Diane.
Or do something, Diane.
I think it's just interesting these people, anybody is even brave enough to look at it. I don't know. Because I know,
she didn't see it.
Lived like in the old funeral home.
You've told me a couple of stories.
I saw full on things, but I would all the time see stuff like out of the corner of my eye, and I never was brave enough to look. The only time I looked anything like face to face was like if something would peek around a corner. Like I wasn't expecting it. I was just looking in that direction and would see stuff. But I would see stuff out of like the corner of my eye all the time. And I couldn't tell you if they were a shadow person or what they are because they never had the nerve to actually look and see what
I do have a little bit of like possible scientific and paranormal explanations here in a bit. I've only got a couple more. So, okay, so Dath says, when my wife was pregnant with our daughter, we saw one, shadow person, in the house we were renting. I had just gotten off the graveyard shift. We were chatting before going to bed. Sorry, I feel a burp coming on.
You're good. Let her rip.
Got it out. And my wife said she saw something in the back room. Our cat was on watch, perched on my wife's belly, occasionally growling. I was a big skeptic. Oh, that's a bunch of BS, etc. I love how people write.
Yeah, what's the etc. after BS?
BS,
malarkey. Isn't that like Joe Biden's slogan?
I love that.
No more malarkey. What an old person word to say.
Yeah. Malarkey is a great word, though. We should bring that back. Okay. That morning, I started toward the back room with that attitude and stopped in my tracks when both of us saw the hunched black shape move and turn to look at us with those horrible red eyes. I honestly wish I could say that I didn't see what I did, but I sure as hell did. It still freaks me out.
Yeah. So it had
eyes.
Distinguishable eyes.
I know.
That's interesting.
Which is weird because usually you don't think about them having, I don't think about them having eyes, just a shape, a black shape. So this is from Lisa Lou 68. I love people's.
Lisa Lang. Not Lisa Lang.
Not Lisa Lang. I love Lisa Lang.
Or Lucy Lou.
I feel like thank you.
Or my girl Drew.
Cameron Deep and Destiny. Okay.
I don't remember the song it comes from.
Charlie's Angels, come on. Independent women.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, my God. It's such a loser. Starting at 4 or 5 years old, when we moved into our house, my daughter has been afraid of our basement. She says that she could hear children laughing, weird sounds, and that the dark man lived down there. She also said that she had a ghost friend she called Bradley staying upstairs, and that Bradley keeps the dark man away from the top floor. When she was around 15, She was home with a friend sitting on the couch watching a movie. Both she and her friend saw a dark shadow in the shape of an adult upper torso hovering by the front door. What the heck? No legs.
Like my guy with no legs.
No legs.
What?
Within seconds of seeing the shape, it flew towards them and then straight down the stairs. My daughter said it was scary, but she's been more accustomed to bizarre happenings. The friend never came over again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could understand that.
Friend's like, bye. Not coming back.
I had all I can take.
Okay, this is the last one. This is from a person username Sniggity. I don't even know what that means.
No sniggity, no doubt. Shot again. Down. Sorry.
During the late 1960s, Sniggity encountered shadow people on 3 separate occasions.
During the 60s. I wonder if they went by Sniggity in the 60s or if they just recently started going by Sniggity.
Literally their name's Sniggity. And you're like, oh my God.
Sniggity Smith.
The first time Sniggity caught one looking through their bedroom window before disappearing. The second was a few months later when they woke to 5 shadow people lurking aimlessly around their bedroom.
Ew, why are they all just like, what?
And what does that look like? Lurking aimlessly, they're just like, admiring your wall art? Like, what are they doing?
I don't understand.
The third and final time was late at a summer camp. Sniggity was lying around in bed in their bungalow when shadowy figures appeared and began walking in circles around the bed. In all 3 occasions, the figures were pitch black, darker than the dimly lit room. This user has experienced all that they want from shadow people and hopes to never encounter one again.
I mean, I guess not.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Why are they following you to summer camp, Sniggity?
Yeah. Sniggity, what kind of summer camp? You're too
where
old.
Are you going?
Are you an adult? It's weird.
Sniggity, you're in charge of the arts and crafts table today.
Because you're 40.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Those aren't shadow people. Those are just
other campers.
The authorities looking in to see what you're up to.
The authorities. You're on a list somewhere. You're on a watch list.
Can you imagine? Like putting people on a list. Like you have to type Sniggity. Like,
Sniggity.
Okay.
No last name. Sorry, I was taking a drink.
We're too caught up on Sniggity.
So some scientific and paranormal explanations. So several physiological and psychological conditions can account for reported experiences of shadowy shapes seeming alive. A sleep paralysis sufferer may perceive a shadowy or indistinct shape approaching them when they lie awake, paralyzed, and become increasingly alarmed. So the ones that I would read where it's like, I woke up and I saw this, that I'm kind of like, that's probably sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
You know? So a person experiencing heightened emotion, such as while walking alone on a dark night, may incorrectly perceive a patch of shadow as an attacker. That I can, that's true. I mean, or they're all attackers or ghosts or shadow people. Because that's legit. Like, I don't care if you're with a friend walking in the dark, you're going to start seeing things.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
just because your senses are so heightened and you're in like fight or flight mode.
Right. So, I mean, maybe they're shadow people. Maybe it's that. I don't know. Many methamphetamine addicts report the appearance of shadow people after prolonged periods of sleep deprivation. Yeah, obviously.
I mean.
Psychiatrist Jack Potts suggests that meth usage adds a conspiratorial component to the sleep deprivation hallucinations. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they like rip their own faces off.
Right. And they think there are bugs in their room.
Yes.
One interviewed subject said that you don't see shadow dogs or shadow birds or shadow cars. You see shadow people. Standing in doorways, walking behind you, coming at you on the sidewalk. These hallucinations have been directly compared to the paranormal entities described in folklore. So, like, why do you want to do meth then?
No.
You know what I mean?
Steer clear, but yeah.
Yeah. So again, a little more sleep paralysis stuff there. And this I didn't actually know. There's always the explanation that your peripheral vision is basically guaranteed to play tricks on you because it's designed to detect motion and movement, not detail. Which I didn't know that. So that's why. Yeah. What is that my phone? Your phone?
So maybe I'm not. Maybe my peripheral vision isn't as bad.
Maybe
as
it's fine.
Because
it's just not detecting detail. It's only detecting movement. All right, and let's go back to Heidi Hollis for a moment, or maybe possibly Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff's friend from earlier.
Okay.
Allegedly. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. So Hollis, through her research and experience, apparently believes that shadow people are extraterrestrials in origin. Aliens.
Oh.
I've never heard that.
No, me neither.
And I guess that's all I have about that.
Okay. I mean,
period.
I'm going to come all the way to your planet just to disguise myself.
Yeah, to what end? Why? Why, Heidi?
And I feel like I've watched a ton of paranormal investigation shows where they catch shadow people.
Always. It's like the number one thing. Yeah.
I mean, well,
that's a lot of UFOs. Orbs are stupid.
So why are so many shadow... Why are aliens coming back and going to hide in the mansion
and hide in a corner?
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that. Okay, this goes into a little bit more about that. Author and leading paranormal expert Rosemary Ellen Guiley appears to also have seen an alien connection. She says, quote, "I discovered that many shadow people experiencers are also ET experiencers, especially abductees." Look out, Amy.
Oh, great.
She told Psychology Today in an interview. So perhaps these beings are alien in origin, but others believe they may be ghosts, demons, or other kinds of interdimensional beings. Yeah. So there's also a lot of people think they're jinn. Do you know what I'm talking about? I didn't go into that, though, because I figured that could probably be its own thing.
I've been watching The Witcher on Netflix. Is that there's a jinn?
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that that's what this is. This is my last little fact here. Most reports on shadow people are overwhelmingly negative. Encounters with shadow people tend to be accompanied by a feeling of dread. But the glowing eyes, some people see glowing red eyes too, which I think is interesting. But apparently there can be different types of shadow people, some that maybe aren't as threatening. But apparently there's one type of shadow person that's said to be more demonic in nature, and he's known as the Hat Man. So again, like I never think of a hat when I think of shadow people. No. So if it's a demon, then I don't know if that's a shadow person, but okay. But he's reportedly seen wearing a top hat and a suit.
Sounds like the Slender Man.
I know. I kept thinking about Slender Man as I kept going through this too. So other times shadow people have been reported to attempt a physical attack during an encounter. But a lot of times that might be during sleep paralysis. So, I mean, again, it's like, is it really sleep paralysis or is it shadow people?
Right.
Like they wake up and something's trying to choke them. But did you wake up? Or are you still asleep?
Right. Who knows?
The end. We're not even at an hour. Look at us. Yeah, take that to your commute.
And I feel like my next one's even shorter.
My next one is hella long. So
okay, good. It'll hopefully work out in the end.
Okay, let's say all our stuff. You know.
We got stuff?
Yeah.
Our normal stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
How you were coming up with some additional stuff.
Nope, no additional stuff.
Okay.
Well, let me say this really quick. So as I read the transcripts of our last podcast.
We're real fancy.
Sweet Jesus, no, please.
Somebody typing that
Nobody needs to do that in their life. I feel like when I was talking about Elisa Lam and just all the stuff that happened at the Cecil, like I almost felt like I was being insensitive towards suicide, and I'm so glad that Amy had the foresight to think to provide the suicide attention hotline, prevention hotline.
There you go.
And so I was just trying to get through it. And I mean, I have personal experience with suicide, as does Amy. And so like, not with ourselves, but with loved ones or family. Obviously, yeah.
Well, not obviously.
No, I know.
Failed attempts.
We're screwing this up.
We are.
Anyway, I know it's nothing to make light of. And I don't think I made light of it.
I feel like you did.
No, but I feel like I just was very like, meh, 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 and then this person killed themselves, and then this person killed themselves, and then this one did. So I think I was just trying to get through it, honestly.
You were.
So.
And at that point, you weren't connecting it to actual people. It was just, you were just listening to some facts.
I know. And but I felt insensitive. And so I just wanted to say something about, sorry, I keep playing footsie with you.
Fine.
So yeah, anyway, suicide is terrible. It's sad. It's horrible. And
not the answer.
Nope. And if you need help, please reach out and find help. Okay, that's all. So, yeah. Go to our website, onthehauntpodcast.com.
Yeah, for sure.
It's great.
Look us up on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. I'm trying to do a little more on Twitter because I feel like we could gain some more, it's beneficial. So I'm trying to get on there a little bit more and just post to everything. So On Haunt Podcast on Twitter, On the Haunt on Instagram. And we've got merch on our Facebook page. Yeah,
we are officially on Spotify. I don't know that we were officially on there yet last time we recorded. So
yes, we are.
So way to go.
It's on there. Thanks.
Yeah.
Figured it out. So
okay, we need to shut our faces.
We love you.
Now.
Please rate, review, and subscribe. Share. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Please send us an email. onthehaunt@gmail.com. Or is it On the Haunt Podcast? Oh my God. So dumb. On the Haunt@gmail.com. It's On the Haunt.
Yeah, that's us.
We don't even know our own.
We don't. On the Haunt Podcast is Twitter. Right?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
All right.
Just find us. Just Google us.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll be on the 97th page.
We will. Bye.
Bye.